Have you ever stared at your WordPress dashboard, ready to add a new page, but felt that familiar knot of overwhelm?
Oh, yeah.
Like you picture this amazing high-performing page that attracts visitors and actually converts them, but then all the technical stuff or just the sheer size of the task, it kind of stops you.
Happens all the time.
Well, you're definitely not alone. And that feeling, we're going to tackle that today.
Yeah.
This deep dive is all about giving you a clear roadmap, really, for effectively building those extra pages on your WordPress site, the ones that actually work.
Exactly. And our mission here is basically to cut through all the noise. We want to pull out the most important insights, the actionable steps from our guide, help you really understand the core elements you need for pages that perform well. Sometimes it's the stuff you might not immediately think of.
Okay, let's unpack this. Think of it like this. We're giving you a roadmap today. Walk through 4 key stages. Thoughtful planning first, then getting the SEO right, making sure the design and branding are cohesive, and finally, the actual practical steps and tools.
Some nuts and bolts.
Exactly. By the end, any new page you create won't just, exist. It'll actively boost your site's overall performance and the user experience.
That's the goal.
So where do we start? It has to be planning, right?
Absolutely. Step 1.
It's not just about the content on the page, but how that page fits into the bigger picture of your whole website. It's like the blueprint for success, yeah.
It really is. And it's kind of surprising how often this gets overlooked, even by businesses that are otherwise pretty savvy. We're talking about page hierarchy.
Okay.
Identifying parent pages and their subages, like your About Us page. That could be a parent.
And subages might be our story or meet the team.
Exactly. And having that clear, logical structure isn't just good for people browsing your site. Google actually rewards this.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, it makes it much easier for search engines to categorize and understand your content. A well-mapped site gets, significant indexing advantages. It helps them figure out what's important.
That makes sense. So it's not just tidying up. It's strategically telling search engines what your site is about, making sure every page has a purpose in the grand scheme.
Precisely. Like a well-organized library, as you said earlier, everything has its place.
Okay.
And that clear structure, it makes internal linking so much more powerful.
Right, linking between pages.
Yeah, not just your main navigation menu, but linking within your actual page content. This creates clear pathways for users, guiding them through related topics, but also for search engine crawlers. Helps them discover everything.
And our guide really stresses using descriptive anchor texts here. Why is that so critical? So many people just write, click here. What's wrong with that, really?
Well, think about it from Google's perspective. Click here tells it nothing. Absolutely nothing about where that link is going. But if you use anchor text like custom page design services or maybe specialized SEO consulting offered by site sketchers,
okay.
you're setting clear expectations for the user and you're telling Google exactly what that linked page is about. It boosts Google's understanding of your site's topics and helps spread relevance or link equity around. It's huge for SEO.
Got it. So ultimately, all this upfront planning comes back to understanding user intent, yeah?
Absolutely.
By creating specific pages for specific needs, you guide users more effectively, answer their questions better, and that improves engagement, keeps them on the site longer.
Exactly. You're anticipating what they're looking for, reduces frustration, reduces bounce rates. It all connects.
Okay, so plan is solid, the blueprint's there, but now how do we make sure people actually find this amazing new page?
Right.
That brings us to SEO, doesn't it? Every new page feels like a golden opportunity, really, to target new keywords and boost your search presence.
It absolutely is. And this is where the details really matter. You've got to optimize those core on-page elements.
Like the title tag?
Title tags, meta descriptions, your headers, H1, H2, etc., and alt text for your images. Very important.
And there are tools that help with this, right?
Oh, yeah. Tools like Rank Math are honestly a game changer. They simplify it by giving you real-time tips and checks as you're building the page. Helps you hit those best practices without just guessing.
That's useful. Now, when we talk keyword research for a new page, what's a common mistake people make besides just stuffing keywords everywhere? How do we make sure we're actually matching what users are searching for?
That's a great question. The trap isn't just stuffing. It's often guessing or assuming what users want. People might chase high-volume keywords.
Right, the obvious ones.
Yeah, but without thinking about the intent behind the search. So for a page on landing page optimization, maybe optimized WordPress landing page is your main target. But you should also think about secondary related keywords, things like conversion-oriented WordPress page or maybe WordPress custom design for landing pages. They tap into different angles of the user's need.
And sometimes those more specific, longer phrases convert better.
Often, yes.
Yeah.
Even with lower search volume, those long-tail keywords can bring in incredibly high converting traffic because they match the user's specific intent so precisely.
Makes sense.
And the content itself needs to be genuinely rich and informative. Your main keyword should fit in naturally, not feel forced. And critically, something often missed, use your header tags. H1, H2, H3, hierarchically.
Like an outline?
Exactly like an outline. It breaks up the text for readers, makes it scannable, and signals the structure and main topics to search engines. A wall of text without headings. That really hurts both readability and SEO.
Okay, so content structure is key. What about the technical side? Mobile friendliness and speed seem non-negotiable now.
Absolutely non-negotiable. Your pages have to work well on mobile, and they have to load fast.
So if someone listening wants one quick win for page speed, what would you suggest?
Image optimization. Hands down. Huge uncompressed images will kill your load time. Use tools to compress them smartly without losing visual quality.
Good tip.
Beyond that, you're looking at things like caching plugins, making sure all images are optimized, and using content delivery networks, CDNs, to serve content faster globally.
Right.
And tying back to our earlier point, internal linking isn't just for users. It distributes that link equity we mentioned.
That reputation score.
Yeah, think of it like that. Linking from your strong pages to newer ones passes some authority along, telling search engines these new pages are also important. And for extra clarity, structured schema markup, like for FAQs or breadcrumbs, helps search engines understand the content even better. Can even get you those fancy rich snippets in search results.
Wow. Okay.
So it's really a mix, you see. Targeted keywords, smart internal linking, and nailing the technical stuff. That ensures each page pulls its weight for your rankings.
Okay, so people can find the page, it loads fast, but getting found is only half the story, isn't it?
Right.
Once they land there, how do you make them actually stay, engage, maybe even convert? That's where design and branding come in, and they're more than just window dressing.
Absolutely. They're crucial for resonating with your audience and driving action. It's about how the page feels.
So how do we approach design choices?
Well, you need to choose page templates or layouts that really align with your overall brand strategy. Custom templates give you flexibility, but you have to maintain consistency.
Consistency in.
Fonts, color palettes, the style of imagery you use. You know, a potential pitfall is actually too much creative freedom on different pages. It can dilute your brand's identity. Consistency builds recognition and trust.
So let's take an example. If SiteSketchers positions itself as, say, a modern, innovative digital agency,
Right.
their pages should reflect that, yeah?
Clean design, lots of white space maybe, easy navigation. How does that communicate innovation beyond just looking nice? It signals clarity, professionalism, and ease of use. When a user lands on a clean, well-organized page, it feels less overwhelming, more trustworthy, more competent.
Okay.
And this ties into visual hierarchy. That's how you guide the viewer's eye subtly from the main headline through the key points right down to your call to action. It's like an invisible path.
And consistency across the site is key too, right? Same header, footer, navigation, everywhere.
Absolutely paramount. Using those same core elements on every page, plus strategically placing your logo and maybe tagline.
It reinforces who you are.
Exactly. It reinforces your brand identity constantly and builds that crucial trust. Every page feels familiar, part of the same reliable entity.
We can't forget buttons and forms, the interactive bits. They need to work smoothly everywhere, desktop and mobile.
Oh, definitely. If your Contact Us button is impossible to tap on a phone, you've lost that lead. It has to be seamless.
Are there tools that make this easier for non-coders?
Yeah, practical tools like Elementor or Beaver Builder are fantastic for this. They let you create really dynamic, responsive designs with drag-and-drop interfaces. No deep coding needed for most things.
That's good to know.
So, you see, effective design isn't just aesthetics. It directly impacts how credible users perceive you to be, how long they stick around. It makes your whole site feel cohesive, telling your brand's story effectively.
Okay, this is great. We've got the plan, the SEO strategy, the design principles. Now let's get practical. The how-to.
Right, the implementation.
How do we actually build these pages in WordPress using the right tools and processes?
Well, the default WordPress editor, Gutenberg, is actually quite powerful now with its block system. Lots of flexibility there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want more advanced customization, visual design control, drag and drop, Page builder plugins like Elementor or Divi are incredibly popular. They let you build complex layouts visually.
Okay, so let's walk through the steps. Someone's ready to build.
Yeah.
What's the process? You're logged into WordPress.
Okay, step 1. Log into your WordPress dashboard. Head over to Pages and click Add New. Pretty straightforward.
Got it. Add new. Then.
Step 2. Choose a layout template if your theme offers them. Think about the page's goal. Is it a landing page? Maybe you want a template without the standard header and footer to minimize distractions and maximize focus on the call to action.
Smart. Okay, template chosen. What's next for making it effective?
Step 3. Start thinking SEO immediately. Use your SEO plugin, like Rank Math, right from the beginning. Get guidance on your title, your meta description. Check your keyword usage as you write the content. It's like having that SEO coach right there.
Love that analogy. Real-time feedback is gold. Okay, SEO basics are in place. Now we make it look good.
Step 4. Exactly. Customize the page, use the built-in options, or fire up your page builder. Add your content, images, whatever you need. And crucially, always check the responsiveness. Preview it on mobile, tablet, and desktop views. Don't just assume it works everywhere.
Check, check, check. Good advice. And we need to connect it to the rest of the site, right?
Step 5. Yes. Add those internal links using descriptive anchor text. Link to other relevant pages, maybe related blog posts like your guides on WordPress optimization. Weave that web.
Okay, and before we hit that publish button.
Step 6, the final check. Test the page speed. Use tools like Google Page Speed Insights or GTmetrix. Make sure your images are optimized. Make sure caching is working. A slow page will just kill your user experience and hurt your SEO.
Non-negotiable, as you said.
Absolutely. Now, something to keep in mind. Sometimes standard tools aren't enough.
What do you mean?
Well, for unique business needs, you might need tailored solutions, custom plugins, maybe integrating specific third-party tools. Site Sketchers, for instance, often talks about building bespoke solutions when a client has very specific dynamic content needs or complex integrations.
Just sometimes you need to go beyond the standard plugin.
Exactly. And remember, launching the page isn't the end.
Right, it's ongoing.
Yeah, you need to regularly audit your pages. Check for broken links, make sure the content is still relevant and accurate, see if your SEO needs refreshing, keep them healthy and effective. The web changes, you need to adapt.
Definitely. Okay, let's tie this all together now. Every single page isn't just a container for information. It's a real opportunity to showcase expertise, build your brand, especially if you're something like a digital media agency. It's more than just sticking your logo at the top.
Absolutely. And something that has a surprisingly big impact is seamlessly integrating your brand name, like Site Sketchers, naturally within the content itself.
How does that help, beyond just name recognition?
Well, it reinforces credibility. Aids brand recall for the user, yes. But for SEO, it helps Google associate your brand name with the specific topics and industry terms you're writing about. It builds authority both in the user's mind and in search rankings.
And this relates to brand voice too, doesn't it? Finding that right tone. How do you blend being friendly and professional effectively, especially for client-focused businesses?
It really comes down to authenticity and knowing your audience. You want to be knowledgeable, an expert, but approachable. Not overly stiff, not overly casual or slangy.
Yeah.
For an agency like Site Sketchers, you might use a confident, clear tone for explaining technical stuff, but shift to a more collaborative, supportive tone when talking about working together with clients. It's about adapting subtly while staying true to your core brand personality.
Makes sense. Tone matches context.
Exactly. And another vital piece here, bridging the gap between just reading and actually doing something, are your calls to action, CTAs.
Right. The buttons or links telling people what to do next.
Yeah, and they need to be super clear, compelling, and relevant to the page they're on. Discover how Site Sketchers can transform your online presence is way better than just learn more.
Because it's specific and benefit-driven.
Precisely. These CTAs guide the user toward your business goals, turning passive readers into potential leads or customers.
Okay, so wrapping this up, if you want truly successful WordPress pages, it boils down to these key things we've covered. That careful upfront planning, nailing the SEO best practices so you get found, ensuring your design and branding are consistent and compelling, and using the right practical tools like Rank Math or page builders efficiently.
Yeah, that covers the core pillars. And connecting it all, remember that creating this network of effective pages, it's an ongoing process. It demands attention to detail, really understanding your users, and a commitment to keeping both the design and the technical side excellent. It's definitely a marathon, not a quick sprint.
And the ultimate prize isn't just traffic numbers, is it? It's about converting those visitors, turning them into loyal customers who value what you do.
That's the real goal. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. While all these individual elements, planning, SEO, design, tools, are critical, the true long-term win comes from integration.
Integration.
Yeah, making sure all these pieces work together seamlessly and having a real commitment to continuous improvement. Always learning, always tweaking, always getting better. So the question for you is, what does that integration and continuous improvement look like for your site starting today? And how will you adapt as technology and user behavior keep shifting?
And that's a wrap-up on why do you need additional WordPress pages. Thank you all for listening. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact Site Sketchers.